Sup nerds, here is an absurd Frankenstein deck. Playing 4 Digimon from BT3. When attacking once per turn, this Digimon has jamming, draw 1. And then we are also playing 1 Dimi-V from BT16. All turns while this Digimon has 2 or more colors, it gets 1000 DP. This will all make sense eventually, hopefully. Onto our 3s, we are playing 4 BT16 Vmon. Evil's on top of Dimi-V for 0, that's why we're playing Dimi-V's as our Tama. Your turn once per turn, when one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolves, if it has the free trait or is green, gain 1 memory. And then inheritable, your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. Then we are also playing 4 Penguinmon from BT18. Unfortunately, does Evo for 1 on top of our Dimi-Vs, but you know, it's worth it. Your turn once per turn, when this Digimon or any of your Tamers would Digivolve into a multicolored blue or red Digimon card, reduce the Evo cost by 1, and then inheritable is jamming. So the effects of these guys, like the up top effects, they actually can come up in this deck, but it's not the reason why we're playing them. The reason why we're playing them is because they're blue and red rookies, but they can come up. This guy has jamming as an inheritable is actually the reason why we're playing 4 of this Dimi-V, because we can trigger that draw power relatively often whenever we see this guy, I guess. And then to round off our level 3, since there's not another blue-red rookie right now, 4 Ukamons from BT16, does Evo for 1, and then your turn once per turn, whenever your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Digimon or Tamer among them, put the rest on the bottom of your deck, then you may hatch in your breeding area. Very helpful. This deck is super aggro, that's why we're playing 5 Tamas, because we're playing 4 Ukos. We want to hatch basically every turn if we're getting everything going. And that is it, we're just playing 12 rookies. Alright, on to the champions, which is where the deck gets interesting. We are playing 4 Warp Aguni, promo 29, does Evo for 2 on top of red, so it evos on top of all of our rookies that aren't Uko. When attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into an Ancient Gray in your hand for the memory cost of 2, ignoring its evolution requirements. If it does, delete it at the end of turn. The inheritable is irrelevant, literally will never come up, so I won't even bother reading that. And then another level 4, we're playing 4 Warp Lobos, promo 30, evos on top of all of our rookies for 2, besides Ukomon. When Digivolving, this Digimon can warp into Ancient Garu for 1, ignoring the Evo cost. If it does, delete at the end of turn. Inheritable will also never come up, so I'm not even gonna bother reading that. So this is the reason why we're playing blue and red rookies, is because we can utilize both of these warp effects, which is really stupid. And then to round off our champions, we're playing 2 Burning Gray from BT17, can Evo on top of our red or purple Tamers, or Takuya specifically for 2, has raid, and then the when attacking effect will literally not come up, so we're not going to bother reading that. The inheritable of your turn plus 2k is actually relevant though, and it's actually the reason we're playing this version. And then we are playing 2 Kendo Garus. When attacking, draw 1, that's actually pretty nice. Then the inheritable is when attacking, draw 1 if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand. Also really nice, draw power is always good, especially in a deck like this where you are effectively like playing like kind of a combo. But these guys are in here for a reason. I'm sure you guys could probably figure out if you're familiar with these archetypes. That is it, we're just playing at 12 champions. On to our megas. You guessed it, 4 Ancient Greymons from BT17, security attack plus 1, on play or when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. One of the reasons why we're playing this Burning Gray is if we play this guy, we want to buff it to 14k. Also, the Vmon is really cool because it buffs it by 2k if you warp into it off the Aguni effect. So you're basically able to pop anything 14k or lower in those situations. Otherwise, it's just 12. On deletion, return 1 Tamer card and 1 Hybrid Tate Digimon card from your trash to the hand. Then you may play a Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Both of the Ancients are broken. They both have this on deletion effect. And obviously, you force the deletion with the warp effects. Really stupid effects. The reason why I wanted to build this deck is because of the warp effects combined with these guys. And I noticed that we had more than one rookie that was blue or red, so I thought, why not give it a shot. Also, Digicross, -3 with a Gunimon and Burning Gray. That is why we're playing the Burning Gray and the Kendo, actually, is so we can Digicross both of them. So we're also playing 4 Ancient Garus, obvi. This is more broken than the Ancient Gray. On play or when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to the hand, and then your turn once per turn, when an effect adds cards to your or your opponent's hand, your opponent adds a top security card to their hand, and it has the same on deletion, and then it has a Digicross -3 with Lobo and Kendo Garu. These cards are absurd, so I wanted to abuse them, and I figured why not abuse both of them in the same deck, and so this concoction got made. And that is it. We're just playing 8 level 6s. On to our 7s. Boom. Triple Ruin Mode. Ruin Mode can evo on top of either one of our Ancients, handily enough, because Ancient Garu is half yellow and Ancient Gray is half purple. LOL, thanks Bandai. Does evo for 5, unfortunately, but whatever. When Digivolving, slash on deletion, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn, and then end of attack, delete this Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon and recover +1. Then if you have a Tamer, hatch in your breeding area. This is actually really cool because if you warp into either one of these guys, they're gonna delete themselves at the end of turn, so you can actually just double Ruin Mode proc your opponent just by evoing into it, because it'll automatically kill itself at the end of the turn, and you just minus 10k to your opponent's field for their turn. GLHF, enjoy not being able to play the game. We are playing 3, so we see it. It doesn't come up every single game, but you can like triple Ruin Mode proc people sometimes, like over the course of one turn, which is pretty filthy because they literally can't play the game. There's barely any level 7s that are big enough to even get hard played under a minus 15,000 DP blanket. But yeah, 3 because we cannot search this outside of the Ukomon, and we do want to see it against decks that we need to see it against, because this deck doesn't have any defense besides that and the ability to just interact with our opponent's stuff, so it slows other decks down. On to our Tamers. We are playing 4 Analog Youth from EX1. 2-cost Tamer. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add Digimon card among them, trash the rest. Also, this guy searches the Ruin Mode, forgot about him. And then all turns, when any of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digivolution cards are deleted, this Tamer may suspend. If it did, gain 1 memory and hatch in your breeding area. So this is actually really cool because effectively, if you don't see the Ukomon when you promote, or you don't have it on the field when you promote, I should say, if you have some of these set up, you can make it to where your end of turn procs to where your Ancients will kill themselves, and then you tap these guys to hatch again, and then maintain turn so you can evo in your breeding area to promote the following turn, which once you get that train going, like your opponent is on a clock of like 2 turns at the very most. It is very disgusting. And then we're also playing 3 Takuya slash Kojis, whatever, 5-cost memory setter. Besides it being a memory setter, the other effect is irrelevant. We're basically never going to tuck hybrids underneath our Tamer at the beginning of the turn. The only situation where that might be a thing is if you're kind of bricked and this guy is in your trash, you can put this guy underneath and then evo on top of it with one of your other hybrids and then swing, and then when attacking, draw off this guy. But like that is the only scenario where I'd ever even consider putting hybrids underneath it. But we're playing this because one, both of our hybrids that actually can evo on top of Tamers can evo on top of it, and they can evo on top of it for 2, which is really cool. In addition, it has an inheritable, which lets us do other things with it that we'll get to. And also, the inheritable is actually really good when you're trying to kill your opponent, because you can put your opponent to 0 security, and even though you're at 0 memory, you can just evo into one of these guys and then trigger the end of turn to then just attack for game. Really, really cool. Wish it only cost 4 memory, but I guess they had to try to balance it in some way, but whatever. And then on to our options. I kind of alluded to this for those of you that are aware. 4 Ancient Guardian Deity from BT17, 2-cost option. While you have a Tamer or Digimon with the hybrid trait, you may ignore this card's color requirements. Fun fact, if we just have one of our rookies that's not Ukomon in the breeding area, we don't have to ignore it. We have blue and red. And then the effect is main, you may return 1 Digimon card with the hybrid or Tin Warriors trait from your trash to the hand. Then you may play 1 Digimon card with the Tin Warriors trait or 1 Tamer card with inherited effects from your hand for the play cost reduced by 4. So that lets us play our memory setter for 1 more memory, or effectively 3 memory if you count this. It's 2 + 1 math. But this also lets us effectively play, if we do have the full Digicross requirements for our 10 Warriors or Ancients, we can play them for 4 memory, because it's 2 plus this, and then 2 more memory after the reduction of 4, and then the additional reduction of 6 from the full Digicross requirements, which is really, really powerful. That is why I'm playing 4, because you can't search this card in this deck in any way. You have to draw it, slash have it checked out of your security. And I do want to see this as often as possible in every single game, because the ability to just hard play them and then force your opponent to deal with them, because they don't just kill themselves in a turn when you do that, is really, really powerful. And it's something that allows you to interact with your opponent when you weren't able to promote that turn, which is important. And the security effect is really cool too. Security, you may play one Tamer card with inherited effects from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then it goes to your hand. Very cool. So that lets us play our memory setter from trash or hand if this is checked out of security, and because we're playing 4, that actually happens pretty often. But yeah, extremely good card. Broken just like the rest of the ancient effects, is just really stupid. And then our last option, we are playing 4 Wisteria Memory Boost from LM set, 3 cost option. Red also meets its card's color requirements, thank you. Main, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 blue or red Digimon card among them to the hand, or return the rest to the bottom of the deck, put it in the battle area. Main delay, gain 2 memory, security, put the card in the battle area. This lets us search everything in the deck that's a Digimon besides Ukamon and Ruin mode. So this lets us search whatever piece we need for whatever ancient combo we're going for, and obviously sets us up for the following turn. This card combined with the Ukos is kind of like the bridge that allows you to actually play this deck to where it actually functions correctly. But that is it. We're playing 8 options. This is actually the deck that won the weekly members only poll for what I play at my locals. If you guys are interested in voting in future polls and having early access to videos as well as other perks, consider becoming a channel member. The join button is down where the subscribe button used to be if you're already subscribed. And also, I'm actually not sure really what to call this deck. I was thinking of like Warp Box or like Warp Toolbox or something like that. It's kind of like the best name, but if any of you guys can think of a better name, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you guys come up with a name that I really like, I will just name it that. But if you guys have any questions or anything I didn't address, feel free to leave them down in the comments. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. I want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.